Hey guys, I'm Tammy. Welcome back to Happily Home Cooking. It's summertime, that means barbecue season. My husband's been out manning the grill, making chicken, brisket, ribs, and so of course we've been doing all of the delicious side dishes to go along with our barbecue. Some of our favorites include our Hawaiian fusion macaroni salad, jalapeno coleslaw, broccoli cauliflower salad, and of course, who can forget baked beans? They're always a classic and they go with anything you throw on the barbecue. Now I'll put links to all of those other side dish recipes in the description, but for today, we're talking about the beans. With all of the different sides that we do, baked beans is one of the ones that I like to make a really quick, easy version. We're gonna start with some canned Bush's baked beans actually, but we're going to kick up the flavor 1,000 times. We're just gonna add a few ingredients ourselves, some fresh bell pepper, onion, even a little jalapeno for some kick. We're going to add some ketchup and brown sugar for sweetness in that sauce, some apple cider vinegar for a nice tang, and then of course some fresh bacon. Who doesn't love some fresh bacon? All these ingredients together are going to make our canned baked beans taste homemade and super delicious. If you want to see how we make our easy, sweet, and spicy baked beans, come on into the kitchen with me and I'll show you how we make them. First thing I like to do is just get all of our chopping prep out of the way. So the first thing we'll do is chop up half a red bell pepper. Next we'll chop up some sweet yellow onion. This one I have is really big, so we're going to do about 1/4 of this onion. If you have a smaller onion, you can use half. And then for some spicy kick into our beans, we're going to use some jalapeno. Now if you don't want it super spicy, we'll just do half a jalapeno, which is what I'm doing here today, but you can add as much as you like. If you like a lot of spice, do a whole jalapeno, maybe 2. Leave me a comment how much jalapeno you end up using in your recipe. And then of course, we're going to add some fresh bacon. I like to use a nice thick cut for our bacon, and I'm gonna use about 3 slices or so today. You can use as much or as little as you like. We're just gonna chop this up into some nice sized bites, and that's it for our prep. We're ready to start cooking. So I'm heating a large pot on the stove over a medium-high heat, and we're just gonna throw in our chopped up bacon and get that all cooked up. No special technique here, just stir it around as you go, make sure it's all cooking nice and evenly. Once our bacon is all nice and cooked, we're going to remove it and set it aside, and then we'll drain out all this extra grease that's in our pot. So now we'll return our pot to the stove, and I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit to more of a medium heat, and we're going to throw in all those veggies that we chopped up, get them starting to cook. So we'll throw in our chopped onion, our bell pepper, and our jalapenos. We're gonna cook them till they're soft, and as we go, I like to scrape up all the little brown bits from the bacon off the bottom of the pan, get all that flavor back into our baked beans. All right, now that our veggies have softened up, we're gonna add in our canned baked beans. I'm using Bush's baked beans. Any kind you have is totally fine because we're adding so much extra flavor into them. So I'm using 3 16.5-ounce cans. So you may be wondering, why are we adding stuff to baked beans when they're already baked beans? Number one, the flavor right out of the can isn't my favorite, but it does give us a great jumping off point. It gives you a great start to the flavor. Your beans are already cooked, so you don't have to soak beans and cook them. It really just streamlines the process and gives you a good amount of flavor to start with. Now all those other ingredients that we're gonna add are just gonna kick it up over the top and make them super delicious in a very short amount of time. So now comes all of our extra flavor. In addition to our beans, we are going to add in a 1/2 cup of ketchup, 1/3 cup of brown sugar, and 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And of course, our bacon that we cooked up and had set aside. Back in it goes. Now I've turned our heat down to low. We don't want to burn all of the sugars in our beans. They will very easily burn to the bottom of your pot. So I'm going to stir it up, pop a lid on, and let this simmer away for a while. The longer you let it simmer, the thicker the sauce will get, more caramelized tasting. So I'm just doing our baked beans on the stovetop. That's just how I do them most often. I find it to be really easy. So we can let these simmer on the stove anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours or more. It's totally up to you. Just keep the heat down on low, a lid on the pot, and let them simmer away. And they will get that delicious caramelized thick sauciness that I really like. Make sure if you are doing them on the stovetop that you do come back to stir them every once in a while, again, so they don't burn onto the bottom of your pan. But other than that, they're good to go, sitting on the stove for a few hours until the rest of your barbecue is ready. If you prefer to actually bake your baked beans, which makes perfect sense, of course, you can totally do that with the same recipe. Just put it into an oven-safe dish and let them go in the oven for as long as you like. Again, the longer they cook, the thicker that sauce is going to be. And that is it. That's how we make our easy, sweet and spicy baked beans. I hope you enjoyed this recipe idea. If you did, you can let us know by leaving us a thumbs up. And don't forget to comment back and leave us a comment after you try this recipe yourself. Let us know how much jalapeno you like to use in your recipe. And until then, have a wonderful day, everybody. Happy home cooking!